Welcome into another episode of the Boulevard Podcast covering the college football playoffs. We are live, our second to last episode of the college football season. And then we'll be on a little break here, probably up until the NFL draft, and we'll do a draft show like we did last year. But yeah, we're here to talk college football tonight, college football playoffs. Might be a little bit shorter of an episode, but we're going to have some fun. Recap some games, break these two games down for you, cover some of our teams from this year, and wrap it up. But glad to see everyone here tonight. Hope everyone's doing all right. Enjoying. We've got some warm weather right now. I know me and Tyler do, surprisingly, so that's nice.
I got almost 70 degrees today.
Yeah. We've been dealing with raining pretty much this last 2 weeks, so a little bit peculiar in California. If you guys saw the Rose Bowl, there was some light drizzling going on, raining all morning. A little.
So there at one point in time, y'all got a shit pot of rain.
Yeah, y'all got drenched.
A lot different. So,
but yeah,
peculiar.
Let's we'll go over these games last week real quick, and then we'll talk about some bets from this year we did, and then we'll break these games down. We'll go through it pretty quickly here. Ole Miss UGA was an absolutely phenomenal game. Ole Miss comes out on top, covering the +6 and the money line. Ole Miss offense was just too much for them, in my opinion, and that Georgia defense that kind of was from the beginning of the year showed its head. Some of the bye week teams struggled, other than Indiana, and so Ole Miss gets it done against UGA. I mean, not a whole lot for me from that game, other than it was a good game, and I think the better team won. A lot of points scored, so I had to over that game, so I'm happy with that.
Well, I think Trinidad was playing like a true Heisman. Like, I mean, I'm not knocking Mendoza at all.
Yeah.
Like, he deserved the Heisman, of course, but like, he didn't really have like that electricity that you would typically see with a Heisman winner. Trinidad had that. Like, he has that capability, and he displayed it against Georgia that night, and it was a phenomenal game. So the way he's playing right now, I mean, look, it's going to be a hell of a matchup to watch him go up against Miami, because they are both playing extremely good football. But yeah, much respect to Chambliss and Pete Golding as well for riding that ship and keeping it going after the whole Lane Kiffin debacle. So credit to that team really in total.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Pete Golding, like, he's doing as good a job as I think as anybody can be doing with the situation that they got.
Absolutely.
Because but they had 6 coaches, including, their offensive coordinator that, after the first playoff game, then they were at LSU recruit. And then they came back and played this game. And then now they're permanently at LSU. But, I mean, just the amount of logistics of the shit from the players to the coaches. I mean, and they hadn't missed a beat on offense. Yeah, Trinidad's an absolute dog. I hope he gets another year, because I'd like to watch him for another year.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting to me too is that come up during that game is Pete Golding didn't even want that job, nor was he said he wasn't ready for that position yet. But he heard some of the names that they were going to bring in the interview, and he said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm going to take the
job." Hey, let this be a lesson for life, guys. That sometimes you're not ready for what life throws at you. You just got to fucking roll with the punches. You know what I mean? He wasn't ready for this job. He just said, "You know what? It's now or never," and he's doing the best he can, and he's doing a great job.
He is. We'll roll over now to Oregon absolutely dominating Texas Tech. Defensively, offense looked really good. Probably should have scored more than they did. Texas Tech's defense gave it all they had. Absolutely, honestly, stellar performance from the Texas Tech defense. The offense just looked absolutely terrible. Big 12, another disappointment in the playoffs. To me, and the biggest takeaway to me in this game is Oregon getting some of these pieces back on offense seems to kind of maybe might be helping them a little bit more than we anticipated. Dan Lanning, he drew up a scheme to stop this team. He knew it was going to be tough to move the ball, but he got it done. And Dante Moore, he played pretty decent in my opinion. Took a couple sacks he probably shouldn't have. But, threw for 234 yards, completed 78% of his passes. Run game was kind of stagnant against that Texas Tech front. So he did what he needed to do to get it going. But yeah, I mean, Oregon's looking like they might You know, they're going to give it Indiana everything they got. A rematch of one of the best games of the year. So that's going to be a hell of a game.
I just want to say, like, if you're the Big 12, like, okay, well, obviously we have the two like there's the Power 4, but there's really just the Power 2, right? It's the Big 10 and the SEC, and then you have the ACC and the Big 12 kind of dragging behind. Miami, some people say it was a gift that they got in, right? Some people say Notre Dame should have gotten over Miami. Irregardless, Miami was in, and they showed out. Like, they're putting the ACC, they're gaining the ACC a lot of respect going forward, right? When it comes to bubble teams, when it comes to teams that maybe shouldn't, maybe should or shouldn't get in, if you're an ACC team, that won't be used against you anymore because Miami is putting on a show for the entire conference. The Big 12, though, I mean, what Texas Tech went out there and did after having a month plus of scheming, you know, and it wasn't like you didn't know who you were going to play. I mean, it was Oregon against James Madison. I'm pretty fucking sure the coaches knew they were going to play Oregon. You know what I mean? For you to go out there and put up a donut on offense, I mean, Baron Morton, he did not look good at all. Had a couple picks that just ridiculous throws. After this game ended, I don't even know if it was a day later, they went out and shelled, $3.5 million for Brendan Sorsby. I think he's a new quarterback at Texas Tech.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we're going to talk. Not sure if we're going to talk portal today, but you know, he will be playing at Texas Tech next year. Listen, for the amount of money Texas Tech has spent on their roster, sure, you won the Big 12, that's great, but you really wanted to see this team produce in the playoffs, right? You wanted to get a playoff win, you know, make a little run. For them to go up there and put up a donut, that is not a good look. That was a really, really bad look for the Big 12. I could not believe what I was watching. Yeah, better luck next year, but they need a lot more of it. A lot more luck than what they had.
Yeah. What really surprised me too was like what their offense is. They got whooped in the trenches, like up front.
Yeah.
Like they got whooped.
Yeah.
Like they really did. And that's not something I know that they beat them on.
I think Texas Tech's defense just really got tired too, don't you? I mean,
they did. I mean, they couldn't get off the field. I mean, not because it wasn't their fault. Their offense just wasn't helping them out at all. Like they were on the field.
They gave it everything they had.
Yeah, I'll give credit to David Bailey. I thought he had a great game. I thought David Bailey played well. You know, so he showed out.
There's some absolute studs in the defensive end for this year's draft. I mean, there's going to be some happy NFL teams getting some star defensive players this year.
My boy John's already locked in the draft. He's taking the over on defensive players drafted. I can already tell.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but me and my brother has already done a mock draft for the first and second round, and I mean, we've got 2 for sure going in the first 2 rounds, possibly 3, depending on where Lee Hunter falls, defense tackle. Yeah. Jacob Rodriguez will go. David Bailey will go. So, I mean, they'll have 3 or 4 in the first couple of rounds off that defense. I mean, they are legit on defense. But, offense, they were just lost. They couldn't run the ball. Baron Morton looked scared to death. They were just all out of whack. It was terrible.
Yeah. Real quick, before we get into these other 2 games, I wanted to bring this up. And I'm not trying to prolong this episode or anything, but I do want to bring it up because it's a hot topic now, right? The bye week teams. I mean, what are we going to see here? Like,
they'll change it.
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that there's going to be some sort of change. I mean, and the one guy that we pointed out last week that would be immune to the bye week, he showed out. Kurt Signetti and that Indiana team. But I mean, what is that now? Bye week teams are 1-7.
Yeah,
the last 2 years. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, they'll change it. I mean,
well, they'll have no choice but to change it when they raise the number of teams to 16.
Yeah,
right? Like when you get 16 playoff teams, everyone you get a first round game.
Yeah.
What I always thought it was peculiar that like the top 4 seeds instead of not only do they get a bye, but they also don't get to host a home game like a playoff game. Like I would rather have that. I would rather host a playoff game than have a bye. And so the way they have it mapped out, I guess on paper is good, but once you actually play out like this, the bracket, the teams that don't have, like if you're Oregon, like okay, you had to play James Madison, okay, big fucking deal, and you got to play him at home. You know what I mean? A great warm up to go play Texas Tech. Like I'd rather have that than beat Texas Tech and just be waiting at home. So they're gonna have to fix this for sure.
Yeah. They either need to shorten the time in between.
They should, for sure, they should shorten the time.
If they're going to keep it at 12, I mean, if they're going to go to 16, then that'll probably make up a week or so, with some extra games. But, I mean, they need to shorten the game because there ain't no need. What's the championship game on the 19th?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I mean, Like, there's no reason to be almost into February and still trying to wrap up like the college football season. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm here for it because it's more football, kind of. But like at the same time, it's like if it's hurting the product you're putting on the field, like shorten it up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll move over now to the two Big Ten games, Big Ten teams we saw. Miami takes down Ohio State, sitting at plus 7.5, covered the money line as well. The under hit in that game. But Ohio State gives up the most points they've given up all year, I believe. Miami looked good. They did what they needed to do. Defensively, this team has shown they are good. And defense travels. I don't think the offense played particularly great, but they did enough. I'm still don't think, regardless of how I feel about him, I still just don't see it with Carson Beck. Now they have a good matchup here with Ole Miss, right? But in my opinion, Mark Fletcher, man, he's this dude opens it up for the entire offense. I mean, he is an absolute bulldozer. Reminds me of old Nick Chubb back when he was at Georgia. Just runs through dudes, keeps going. Shout out to Miami, huge win. They came prepared and got it done against the Buckeyes team that we thought. Honestly, I think we all thought would be back in the championship game.
Well, they ruined my fucking New Year's, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I wanted to smash my TV. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. We were talking about it, like, I think in our group chat, like throughout the day, how that number was at 9.5 at one point in the morning, and then it just kept dropping. And it went down to 8.5, and then it went down to 7.5. I might even touch 7 at one point. To the point where we were like, okay, you have to bet Ohio State now. And clearly the Sharps knew what they were doing because Miami was pretty much in control of that game the entire time. We talked about how Miami would always present a struggle to any team because they have one of the best offensive lines at defensive lines, and they showed out. Again, they played great. Like, I can't take anything away from that. Carson Beck, like John said, he didn't really do much. I can't sit here and say or proclaim that, he's going to lead this team to victory if he has to. I still think Miami has to have a very specific game plan. They have to have a very specific, the game has to follow. The game flow has to be in Miami's favor for them to win. Like, they have to be able to run the ball, and they can't get behind. And I don't think they've gone behind yet this playoffs, have they? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but every game,
I don't believe so.
No, they have not.
The game script has to go exactly Miami's way. I would love to see them play with some adversity, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But if Miami is able to control the game, they could beat anybody, really. That's how good their offense and defensive line is. But again, I can't sit here and proclaim that Carson Beck is some amazing player again because I haven't seen it. If you're Ohio State, Julian Sayin, he looked scared out there, guys. I don't know if that was just me, but he did not look comfortable at all night in the pocket. And again, I understand Ruben Bain. He's a dog, and Miami's defensive line is good, but he just didn't he was afraid to step up in the pocket. It looked like he was, had happy feet. He wanted to escape the pocket way too much. Just looked scared out there, guys. Looked scared. Every time he threw the ball to Jeremiah Smith, it was a first down. It was a gain of 10, 15. I don't know why they didn't keep throwing it to him. But yeah, it ruined my fucking New Year's. What are you going to do?
What I was going to say, too, both the inexperienced quarterbacks, Sayin and Simpson, both looked very out of it, both games. Like, they couldn't see the field. The game was going way too fast for them. I don't know how you feel about that, Tyler, but that's kind of what I saw from them two guys.
Yeah, I don't know if it was preparation for Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, knowing how good they were up front, and so he was just so hyper focused on trying to make something happen or try to get out of the pocket or try to get rid of it quick, whatever it was, but he just never really settled in, and what you saw throughout the year was him being able to kind of make some reads. If his first option wasn't there, he maybe go to a second or third, and they took that away. Like, that was never an option for him. It was either first read and then tuck it and run, or he was getting sacked.
And Bo Jackson could not get going either. I mean,
no, they really did get dominated in the trenches, like on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, it was tough watch.
Lastly, just quickly here, absolute domination from Indiana. This team looks they've looked the part all year. The clear favorite right now, and I think this is going to be probably their toughest matchup against Oregon, the rematch. If they can get it done here, I don't know what the line will be against Miami or Ole Miss, but I think this is the game right here. So
they're actually out right now.
Yeah, they are out. I can pull them up. They're actually right below here. Miami's 5.5, and Miami's 5.5, and Ole Miss is 8.5.
Yeah.
If that ends up being the matchup, but regardless, we'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. Absolute domination from Indiana. And I think they're finally now. Honestly, I think they're finally, now that we're to the semifinals, getting the respect that they deserve because Ohio State's out of it. They're finally getting the respect they deserve.
Yeah, what's really, really impressive to me with Indiana is on the defensive side of the ball, like with their corners and their safeties, their DBs and stuff, they have no fear. Like they are great in the run fit, and they will come up and they will light your ass up.
Hold on,
they really
John Schefter reporting Trae Young just got traded to the Wizards. All right, keep going.
But yeah, no, they play
Really?
so physical, so physical. Like everybody on both sides of the ball, and there's a bunch of ways that they can kill you. And Fernando Mendoza does get a lot of shit for being kind of a robot, kind of type of quarterback, but I don't know, he's got it mentally, he knows what he's looking at and he knows how to handle it. And so I think that's why they're having a lot of success on offense too, is he just knows what's going on. He's got an absolute rifle too, that helps. So
I think he's very Kirk Cousins-esque, and that whatever NFL team gets him, that's what they're going to get, is a kind of a Kirk Cousins back whenever, I guess you want to say prime Kirk Cousins.
That is a solid comparison. John is locked in for the draft. I'm telling you right now, dude.
Yeah.
You really are getting a Kirk Cousins-esque player here. So
I can see that.
Jose, you got anything you want to add in there real quick about your Indiana Hoosiers?
No, I mean, listen, I was there at the game. I was really impressed with the amount of Hoosier fans that showed out. I would say it was like 70% Indiana fans, if you can believe that. It was just a real passing the torch moment, guys. We had talked about, and I would tell people at work that, Alabama had been like the dynasty our whole lives, at least, for our early adult years and our late teenage years. Like, it was Alabama, it was always Alabama. Yeah. Alabama would go out there and smack teams. So for Indiana to go out there and do what they did at the Rose Bowl, a historic venue, just a really big passing of the torch. Curt Cinetti, he's probably the best coach in the country right now. As good as you could be without having a natty under your belt. The question I just want to ask you guys now is, how long is this Indiana feel-good story going to last for until we turn on them like how we turn on every other dynasty? At what point do we say, okay, you know what, screw Indiana, this team is too good now? Because Cinetti is a hell of a guy to look, he's a dick. I don't know if you guys agree with this. He is a real, he has that persona to him. He's very smug. But when you can back it up, I mean, it's cool. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? But
not trying to do comparisons, but very Nick Saban-esque.
Yeah, so I'm just curious to see how long this public, affection lasts for Indiana. But it was a historic performance, and kudos to them. Kudos to Curt Cinetti.
Do either of you have intel on who their next guy is? Like someone they're targeting in the portal?
Who?
At quarterback in Indiana.
Yeah, they got Josh Hoover.
It's King Furry.
They got Furry?
They got King Furry. He's
and
I'll tell you what. I know. Listen, I know we're still on this season, and we're in the meat, the very, very important part of the season. But I'm telling you guys what, right now, the next breakdown episode in 6 months from now, you're gonna be. I know Mendoza just won the Heisman, but I think Josh Hoover's better. I'll be honest.
Josh Hoover. He can.
I'm a really big Josh Hoover guy. So
they got him. They got Nick Marsh from Michigan State, and then they got a running back from Boston College.
Yeah.
I think was kind of one of the top 3 bigger names that they ended up getting.
Yeah. And if Cignetti likes him, then you know he's good. You have no reason to doubt him. Yeah.
Well, we'll move on now. Real quick, we are going to do a quick segment before we break these 2 games down of biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, and one bet one future bet we mentioned in breakdowns that hit, and I'll go first. That way, if you guys need a moment, you can. Um, but my biggest, I'm gonna start with my biggest disappointment, and that was Kansas. My Jayhawks, man, they let me down. No, in all seriousness, my biggest disappointment this
I
year
was
was
gonna say no way.
my biggest disappointment this year, and I honestly feel like it's kind of a given here. It was Clemson for me. This team had very high expectations, a lot of talent. Dabo's revenge year, whatever, this and that. I gave them out to be my national champion, and they dropped it early, and it wasn't even halfway through the year. It was at the beginning of the year. This team looked awful. That was definitely my biggest disappointment. Biggest surprise of the year, in my opinion, it's got to be Ole Miss for me. And it happened after I remember me and Tyler were talking about the Kentucky game where they looked very lost with Austin Simmons at quarterback. He went down, got hurt. They had to bring in Trinidad, and I just kind of didn't know where this team was going to go. Right, and here they are in the semifinals. Trinidad's playing incredible ball. So kudos to Ole Miss. They weathered a lot of storms this year, and here they are still rolling on. So kudos to them. Bet for me, I do remember giving out Oklahoma to be in the playoffs. In my breakdowns, they were my dark horse team, and they did get in the playoffs. I can't remember what the odds were, but it was a pretty good amount. So Oklahoma to get in the playoffs was my big one.
Biggest disappointment for me was probably LSU. Look, this team had like legit predictions for national championship this year. So many people were picking them to be able to make a run in the playoffs. Nussmeier's going to win the Heisman.
Hey, after week one, we were on that train.
We were on that train, and then let me tell you, when it went down, I mean, it went down quick. They were awful, absolutely awful on both sides of the ball. I don't know what happened at all. I don't know if it was a coaching deal. I don't know if it was a morale deal. I don't know what it was, but man, they were bad. I mean, they were really, 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 really bad. And then my a bet that I took was Duke to make the ACC championship. And I know Jose, I think, was on them too. I had Duke and Clemson, which I know Clemson didn't make it. But that brings me to my biggest surprise, would be Virginia. Now, they won a lot of games. I will say they shouldn't have. Okay, I will put that out there first and foremost. They got lucky in a lot of games, but I know Jose was on this too, at least on the over for their win total, and we said what was going to hold it back probably was their head coach, but we did like their roster, and we did like their team, and think that they did have a chance. Now, did we expect them to make the ACC title game? No, but I will say that would be the biggest surprise was they were really, really, really bad for the past couple of years. And they had a pretty good year this year. So we'll see if they can build on it.
Yeah. So for me, my best bet, I guess you could say, was a recent one. If you guys remember one of the very first reaction videos we have from the college football playoff rankings, I was proclaiming, or I was just questioning why Miami was so far down in the rankings, and I came on here and I said, hey, you know what? I do question why Notre Dame is like 7 spots ahead of Miami when they played and Miami beat them. And I got on here and I said, hey, Miami 5-1, or I think it was like 5.5 to 1 to make the playoffs. Like, to me, that seems like a good bet. I don't see why Notre Dame would get in over them. I also said Miami 100-1 to win the championship at that time. I said if they get in the playoffs, they're not going to be 100-1. And sure enough, I don't know what their current odds are, but it's not 100-1. Miami 5.5 to 1 to make the playoffs, I thought was probably my best call.
To reach the championship, -170 now.
Yeah.
To win the championship, +310.
Now, did I take any 100-1? No, I did not. And that's probably my biggest regret. But I'm just saying I did come on here and I did advocate for them, and I did question why the odds were so wide. So that'll probably my best bet. I also missed my best bet by like a week because, or 10 hours, because we said Deshaun Foster to be first coach fired. And I think Brent probably beat him out by a few minutes. So that's very frustrating. Biggest disappointment this year. I'm actually going to go group of 5 on you guys, dude, because we are a college football podcast. I do think it's right to take the whole landscape. I'm going to go with the Liberty Flames. out of Conference USA. I mean, preseason, this team was the odds-on favorite to win I think they were minus money to win their conference. They finished 4-8. They did not look. I mean, John, I know maybe that's you follow them a little closer than we do. I can't sit here and say why exactly they fell off. But for the money they have, for the roster they have, and for the expectations that they have, for them to go 4-8, I mean, that is ridiculous. That is that is a failure of a season. It's not.
I
even
do
close.
believe, if I remember right, they were like minus 350 to win that conference.
Yes, like it was. Yeah, when I say minus money, I don't mean they were minus like 110. They were like legitimate, like heavy favorites to win there. And for them to finish like in 8th place, that is ridiculous. That is terrible. That is a failure of a season. That is my biggest disappointment. From the college football season. Biggest surprise. There's a few teams that I want to highlight real quick. One of them being Houston. I know we were all kind of high on Houston this preseason. Yeah. We're all high on Willie Fritz. Yeah. We came on here and said, hey, you know what? We think they're a year away. We think maybe next year is a time to buy on them. We were wrong. Like, they were good this year, guys. They had a legit squad, and Willie Fritz is a great coach. I also want to highlight out of the SEC, Vanderbilt, another team that historically is one of the worst Power 4 teams. Diego Pavia, hate him or love him, whatever it is, he played tremendous this year. He led this team to a lot of glory, and a historic season for Vanderbilt.
Having a great basketball season too.
Yes, I'm watching it right now. They look fantastic against Alabama. Maybe we'll have a March Madness episode, John, if you're down for that.
Yeah, we will.
And my last disappointment. I'm sorry, I skipped over disappointment. But that was going to be South Carolina. I wanted to just put that out there real quick. A team that had a lot of talent that I wasn't necessarily the highest on, but I didn't expect this bad of a performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hell of a season.
One other team, real quick, I want to throw out there with Cincinnati. They had a good year with Sorsby, in my opinion, and now he moves on to take over Texas Tech. So, but yeah, listen, we're here to talk. I know we've been kind of chit-chatting here and there, but we're here to talk semifinals. So let's get into these games. Exact same spread of 3.5. We see an over/under of 52.5 on this Miami Ole Miss game. And I haven't made any bets yet. I wanted to see where you guys are at tonight. I'll say where I'm leaning. But I think Jose pointed it out earlier that the script has to really go perfect for Miami to win and control this game. And they do have the personnel to do it, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think Mark Fletcher might go for 150 this game against Ole Miss. But the real question for me lies in Carson Beck and him spreading the ball out. And I think that Ole Miss and Pete Golding have the team to really push the pace, push this team, wear down the defense, and get, hang in there. So a 3.5 for me personally is enough. I lean Ole Miss 3.5 here. Just because I do think that they can kind of push this pace, get the Miami defense tired, make them have to play from behind. And we always talk about, Cristobal makes some questionable decisions at times, right? Carson Beck is going to look better against this Ole Miss team than he's looked all year. But if he abandons Mark Fletcher in the run game, in my opinion, it's going to be bad news for them. So I lean Ole Miss 3.5 here. Sprinkle a little on the money line. I think the pace of this game is going to get pushed. No official bet yet, but that is my play, my lean, I guess.
Hey, listen. I mean, Tyler, I know you played sports before. You played football, and you could sit here and break down these games from a number perspective, and they do matter a lot, right? You want to you as far as metrics and statistics, and that stuff matters. But at the end of the day, when you're motivated, when you have that, there's something inside of you. There's something inside each player on that team that gets to them, that lights that fire that you can't quantify with a number. And right now, Ole Miss is riding that high. Their head coach bailed on them. A lot of turmoil before the playoffs started. A lot of people didn't think they'd get this far. They are riding that self-motivation right now, and they've come together as a team. And now you can't quantify that in numbers, right? Trinidad Chambliss is playing at Heisman level right now. Like the way he distributed the ball against Georgia, I thought he looked fantastic. Didn't make too many mistakes. Their defense, while it may not be great, they're playing hard. They were cracking helmets against Georgia that game.
Yeah.
They went out there and they were throwing their bodies around. They are fighting for each other, and you cannot quantify that. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Miami. Miami, you can make the arguments do the exact same thing, right? A team that maybe shouldn't have got in here right now. Maybe Notre Dame maybe should have gotten over them. Whatever. They have proved the haters wrong, and I'm really excited to watch this game. I'm not discrediting any one of these teams. Both these teams, massive respect for getting this far. But there's just something with this Ole Miss team right now. I don't know what it is. Again, I can't quantify it with numbers, but they just look different. They're playing different. They're playing hard. They're playing for each other. Their defense, while it hasn't been great, like I said, they're still playing hard, and they look better against Georgia, I thought, in spurts. I wouldn't come away saying that Ole Miss's defense got ran over. Like there were times in that game where it looked like they were controlling the line of scrimmage. They were controlling Gunnar Stockton. I did have some confidence out there when Ole Miss went out there to play defense. Pete Golding's a defensive guy. Maybe he whipped something up here. And again, it goes back to the game script. We've seen Ole Miss, we saw them control the game against Tulane. We saw them down by double digits at half against Georgia, and they came back to win. We've seen them produce. We've seen them perform, under different circumstances. With Miami, again, we've only ever seen it one way. It has to be their way. If it's not their way, they're not going to win. And think back to their game against Notre Dame, game 1 of the season. That was a game in which they controlled the entire game. The games they lost this year against SMU and I think it's Louisville, like those were games where it went off script, where it didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go. Ole Miss's offense, the way they're playing right now, it should present enough trouble to perhaps flip the script a little bit here. I've seen it with Ole Miss already. I've seen them come back from double-digit leads. I've seen them control the game. They're able to do it. Miami, I'm still not sure. Again, not trying to discredit this team. They're a great team, great story. But listen, I like Ole Miss 3.5 here. I like the money line at plus 140, plus 145. I don't hate that either. Yeah, give me the Rebels. I'm going to ride this Trinidad Chambliss high as much as I can right now.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. In another game or a part of Ole Miss's game on offense that I feel like is kind of underrated is their run game. Like Kevon Lacey's running the shit out of the ball. Like he is a very good, very, very, very good football player. They are very efficient at running the ball. Now, while I do think Miami is quite a bit better in the trenches, really on both sides of the ball, you mentioned it. Ole Miss's defense held up. They really did. They played really well against the run. They kind of eliminated the quarterback run from Gunnar Stockton, which they're not really going to have to worry about that much with Carson Beck. And I think what's going to help Ole Miss out is Trinidad's ability to escape the pocket. If they start get some pressure, because and we saw it this past weekend when he escaped the pocket. I mean, he did some magical stuff, and he made some insane plays, some insane throws on the run. So I think that's really going to help their offense. Yeah, I like Ole Miss a lot right here too. I think they got a lot to prove. Because I think there's a lot of people talking about them. Oh, Lane Kiffin's gone. Who else is going to leave? Or their players are going to leave? Like, also at the same time, why would you right now? If you're winning without Lane Kiffin, I think there's going to be some serious consideration from a lot of guys in there to stay. But I like Ole Miss a lot. Yeah.
And this still go ahead, Jose.
Sorry, but listen, I know they're not going to want to hear this, and maybe it's the wrong thing to say right now, but the fact of the matter is Lane Kiffin put together a hell of a roster. He really did.
He did.
Because this Ole Miss team right now has lost one game all year, and it was a game they should have won. It was in Georgia. Yeah. And what do? They came back last week and avenged that loss. I know we're going to say I know people are going to say Miami has a great defensive line. They got a great defense. It's going to present problems, and it will. It will present problems.
Yeah.
But guess what? Ole Miss already beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma, and they didn't just they dominated. They controlled that game. Right? That was a game they controlled. And you can make a very strong argument that Oklahoma's defense, their defensive line, is better than Miami's. Right? So, again, this Ole Miss team is not getting enough respect in the market, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can make a very good argument they should be undefeated right now. And they've controlled every game they played in. Even the Georgia game they lost, they controlled it. This is a hell of a team, guys. They're really underrated in the market.
Yeah. And I get it, money talks, right? But this still... Right. I brought it up before is why would you leave Ole Miss? What is the point? You have created a powerhouse and now you got to go and redo it at LSU. I get it. The money, the whatever, I do understand, but after building the team that he built having the recruits that were coming in that he had, it didn't really make sense to me. But that's why I'm sitting here doing a podcast and not making $92 million or whatever. Let's go on to Oregon, Indiana, a rematch game. The last time this game was played, Indiana was plus 6.5. This was in Eugene, and they won 30-20. This line has completely flipped. It is not obviously in Eugene. It is a neutral site, and the Indiana is 3.5. 9-point difference from what it was last time. Probably as it should be as well, because Indiana is playing out of their mind. With that being said, I lean Oregon plus 3.5 here. I think these two teams are very familiar with each other. I respect Kurt Signetti and what he does. I respect Dan Lanning and what he does. I think that Oregon has a little bit of more offensive firepower with getting a couple of these players back. The key difference in Indiana if you look statistically, Indiana dominated Oregon in every single statistic category when they played Oregon in Eugene. Dante Moore took 6 sacks that game, turned the ball over twice. That's the difference in that game right there. The 30-20, that is the difference. If they can just clean it up a little bit, I think that this is like a 27-24 game. So I'm going to lean Oregon here with the 3.5. I think it might be just a little bit too much. The over-under is less than it was when they played last time. That over-under was 52. It's at 48 right now. So give me Oregon 3.5. I think this is going to be another as good as the game was earlier this year. In my opinion, one of the game of the years. I think this is going to be right there up there with that one that was played in Eugene. So I'll go Oregon 3.5 here.
Yeah, I like Oregon 3.5 as well. And it may come back to bite me. Fade no Sig. We've been singing his praises since he got hired at Indiana and been on that train. But look, Oregon's playing their best ball right now, in my opinion. I think they got hot at the right time. And the thing that doesn't really get talked about a whole lot when you talk about Oregon football, typically when you think of Oregon football, you think of a spread them out, finesse type team, a lot of RPOs, spread the ball out to your playmakers, and they still do that. But an underrated portion of their game, I do believe, is in the trenches. Like, they are a very physical football team. Like, they do play physical. And I do give credit to Dan Lanning on that part of, before they joined the Big Ten, they weren't that kind of football team. And I think he understood to be able to have success in the Big Ten, you got to be able to have that brand of football. And that's exactly what he's done to Oregon. So give credit to him as well. I think this is a field goal game either way. Whoever, regardless of who wins, I can't see it, coming down to more than a field goal on either side. This line was at 4, I believe, and it's come down half point to 3.5. So I do like Oregon quite a bit in this game, and we'll see kind of how Indiana responds if they get down at any point, because they've just been beating the dog shit out of teams. So, but yeah, I do like Oregon at 3.5 here.
Yeah, well, I just talked about it in our last breakdown when it comes to, which side of the spectrum are you on? Are you on the statistical analytics side, or are you on the more like, individual motivational feel good side? Because if you're on the analytics side or the statistical side or the number side, right, the number is very clear. You should bet Oregon here, right? I mean, John talked about it. This line opened at 6. I mean, this line closed at 6.5 or 7 against in the first matchup. So you're saying Oregon was laying 7 at home, right? Let's say you're being generous and you give 3 points for home field, which I guess in college maybe it's worth a little bit more. So we'll say 3 points. That means at that time, Oregon was -4 on a neutral field against Indiana, according to the books, right? Again, we're being generous, maybe a little less. 4 points. In that time frame, what has happened? Oregon has not lost another game since. Indiana has went on to win every game, but they did struggle against Penn State. They did struggle against Iowa. They should have lost to Ohio State, right? They did smack Alabama, but this is not the same Alabama team we talked about. Alabama's is not good this year. How much stock do you put into that, right? Oregon has went out. They smacked Texas Tech. They've looked good against all their opponents since. They also kind of scraped by Iowa. The point I'm trying to make is the performances that they've shown us against like these top tier teams is that warrant an 8-point switch. You're going to go from Oregon -4 on a neutral to Indiana -4 on a neutral based on what we've seen this year. Does that warrant that based on what we've seen Indiana play against actual top tier teams?
It's just too much.
It's just too much. It doesn't, maybe if this line was like a pick or like a +1,
Yeah.
then I would say, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, yeah, Indiana's gotten better. Let's not discredit them. They've gotten better this season. Oregon's maybe not as good as we thought they were, right? But 8 points, that just seems like a little bit too much for my liking. So again, if you're in the number side, yeah, you should be betting Oregon all day. There's no way this team is 8 points worse than what they were, a month or two ago. On the flip side, do you really want to fade Cignetti? Like, this man has done nothing to make us believe otherwise. He goes out there, he executes his game plan. He always, his game plan always works, and that just comes down to great coaching. He's able to understand the weaknesses in the other team, and he's able to exploit them and make his game plan work over yours. There's a few teams out there that we talk about throughout the season that, hey, this team, they usually follow their game plan. The script is normally sticks to them. Indiana is always their script. This is the way it is, right? We've seen it against Ohio State. We saw it against Oregon the first time. Indiana will just play their game, and you'll make you adjust. And that comes down to coaching. That comes down to Cignetti. So really, do you want to fade him again? Or do you want to fade him in this spot? It comes down to which one you want to be on. I'm going to take the points with Oregon here. I just think the number has won way too wide. Like, for you to give me, there's no way you can convince me this team is 8 points worse than what they were 2 months ago. Not with what I've seen. They still look pretty good to me. Key injury here, though, Jordan Davison, their star running back. He will not be playing this game. He broke his clavicle. I think the word came down this morning. Again, that shouldn't be a deal breaker for you, but just food for thought, I guess. But yeah, I'll take the points deal with Oregon. I think this line probably closes at 3.5-ish, maybe at 3. I think we should see some Indiana money coming in soon. But yeah, I don't agree with this line movement, guys. So give me the Ducks 3.5, and what should be a field goal game, like Tyler said.
All right, and to wrap this up real quick, boys, we're gonna say who our national championship game is, not who our winner is, but who is going to be in the national championship. Tyler, I'll let you lead us off here.
I'm going to go Ole Miss, and I'm going to go I'm going to take the points with Oregon, but I'm going to say Indiana wins.
Okay. Ole Miss, Indiana.
So I'm going to go Ole Miss, Indiana.
Jose?
Give me Ohio State. I'm just kidding. Yeah, give me Ole Miss, Indiana, and what would be a fantastic game.
Yeah, give me Ole Miss, Oregon. Oregon wins the national championship.
John, putting his fucking nuts on the table. That's what I love to see right there, baby.
Ole Miss versus Oregon. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this week's podcast. We got one more to do next week, and we'll have a little fun too. Talking national championship. We'll probably be on Wednesday. When is the national championship, boys?
The
19th, the Monday after. So not this Monday coming up, but the one after.
We'll probably talk on the 14th. Yeah, we'll probably talk on the 14th, or maybe over the weekend. We'll see what works out better. So, but we'll have one more. Then we'll probably be on a little bit of a break until March Madness, the end of February, and then you can expect a big March Madness show, bracket reveal, whatever. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, we have two good games starting, one tomorrow and one Friday. I can't wait. And then
NFL playoffs all weekend.
Yeah, NFL playoffs.
I already locked in my Chargers 3.5. T.
I'm sorry.
I mean, dude, Tyler has no fucking. That's your team, brother.
I trust me. I know.
What is the? Hold up, let me. Sorry, I have to do it because we're on.
Let's the one line that quick NFL.
The one line that really kind of surprised me was Buffalo being favorites at Jacksonville.
Yeah, I thought so too. I like Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville in that game.
I like Jacksonville, but also at the same time, it seems fishy.
Here is our Super Bowl odds right here. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I can.
Man. Who do you go here? I like Jacksonville, actually. Kind of
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think the line's fishy, Tyler. The books would not let you get plus money on Josh Allen. They just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right, I
Anything
don't
that
know.
really stands out to me here would be Jacksonville and New England. Those are the two teams that I'd be looking at taking, in my opinion.
Oh, I am out on New England.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think there's good value in Jacksonville. I think the Rams make it on the NFC side. And I think if they end up matching with Seattle again, they win. Seattle had that lot go their way in order.
Cardiac Bears.
Yeah,
I like
that line is
oh,
flipped a couple times.
I like the Packers at 25-1.
I do too. I like the
25 to
Packers as well,
1.
and I like the Pack. I'll probably be on the Packers this weekend against
On the
Chicago.
Packers, you know. Go to the NFL spreads. Let's do a quick rapid fire, John, on the NFL playoffs.
All right, let's start this off. These games start on Saturday. We got Rams getting 10.5 against the Panthers. Over under 46.5. Give me the Rams.
Hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
No, like the fact that Carolina's hosting a playoff game after just being ridiculous. A year removed from looking like literally the worst team in NFL history. Like, I grant they're not a great team. You know what I mean? Like they're not, and their record wasn't very good. Like I get that. Like what they fit 9-8 or something. So like,
but
not
good
great,
enough.
but
good enough.
But to be hosting a playoff game from, I'm not shitting you, being what looked like literally one of the
Shout
worst
out to Bryce Young sticking it out.
NFL teams that we've ever seen. Like, good on them. I like the Rams as well, though.
Jose?
I'll take the Panthers 10.5. But I just want to say really quick, if to all my boys out there that have girlfriends or married or something like that, that's the game you want to take your girl out. Like, you do your stuff at that game because you're not missing much in that one. Okay, that's the one. Everything else, all these other spreads are like what 2-3 point spreads. These games should be fired. Yeah. That's the game. That's the game. If you guys got something you guys to do, she wants to go to the mall. Take her there. You know, during that game. Miss that one.
Packers and the Bears 1.5. Give me the Bears.
I like Green Bay.
Bills, Jacksonville. We already pointed out we like Jacksonville, so I'm on Jacksonville.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville a lot, to be honest with you.
Niners, Philly 4.5. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I like the Niners as well.
I'll take Philly.
Chargers, Patriots 3.5. Give me the Patriots.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I don't like doing it, but I'm gonna do it.
I don't. But like, maybe John's higher on the Patriots than I am. I think they're kind of fraud. The Chargers, like the fact they've gotten this far is ridiculous because their offensive line is dog shit.
Yeah, bad.
I think, but you know what? The Patriots cannot rush the passer. They can't.
So I was talking about that with a buddy today. The one optimistic thing I am is that is by far the worst part of New England, like of their game, is they have zero pass rush.
Yeah. They played one of the easiest schedules in NFL history, by the way.
They have, and our defense is actually very good. We can very much rush the passer. Will Campbell is coming back for this game, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be his first game in quite a while. So I'm curious to see how quick he knocks the rust off. Something we may be able to take advantage of a little bit.
Okay, and last game on Monday night, Texans, Pittsburgh. I'll ride with the Red Hot Texans.
Look, I'm going to go a little rant right here. First of all, to any of the Houston fans, I'm sorry, but fuck the Texans. Look, when we played them, that game had me so pissed off. Like, after the first 2 drives, I was like, yeah, we're cooked. But it was just a couple busted coverage from a fucking backup safety, so it is what it is. But, like, also at the same time, like, we absolutely shut their shit down, and they got bailed out that game. I will say that. I rarely talk good about the Chargers because I know they're going to lose because that's what they always do, and I've witnessed it my whole life. I've been a fan. So, like, I'm ready for the disappointment. I know it's going to happen. But, like, C.J. Stroud's not playing well. Low-key, that offense is kind of ass.
Sucks.
Their defense – yeah, their defense is absolutely carrying them as much as they possibly can. So, yeah, I like Pittsburgh at home.
Hey, listen, I thought the time to bet. Okay, first off, let me just say, I was someone who was carrying a Ravens futures ticket. For them to lose like that was complete bullshit. Like,
yeah, that's
God, bro. Like, that was a fucking roller coaster and a half. I'll tell you right now. Aaron Rodgers, fucking the fountain of youth, I guess, and he plays like vintage Aaron Rodgers at second half. I could not believe what I was seeing. I think we all bet the Ravens that game. This is what the Ravens fucking do. They jump out the leads and they can't finish. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating game. As much as I want to take the Texans, I think Pittsburgh's probably the right side. Maybe more of that Pittsburgh bullshit ass magic. I don't know. Sorry, excuse my language. This team is not that good, but they just find ways to win, and that's credit to coaching, really.
Yeah.
So I'll take Pittsburgh, but I'm not happy about it.
Battle
I
of
hope
the two shitty teams.
Yeah, both
Bro,
teams
speaking of Baltimore, how many times have we bet on them in primetime this year? They'd be winning all game, and then they'd have some bullshit fumble or some bullshit turnover. And then I texted it in the group chat the other night. I was like, look, I'm tired of giving my money to this team. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of it.
We were just making donations at that point. Hey, that Saturday night game, that's must-see television. That Bears Packers, that's a historic rivalry right there, guys. Yeah. It's prime time.
The third time they played this year?
And I'll tell you what, like if it's anything like the first two times, we should be in for a treat.
Yeah.
And that Buffalo Jacksonville game should be fun. This should be a great weekend of football, starting tomorrow. Really.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
Night. Tomorrow through Monday. We got games all the way through, through Monday. So
hey, this is the last. This will be the last time, boys, we have a slate like this. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because
it'll be September.
It's gonna be another 6 months again until we do this shit again.
Yeah.
Then we can talk NASCAR and golf.
I mean, you speaking French? I mean, we.
Yeah, I was saying you could talk NASCAR and golf.
Hey,
all right.
You want? Australian Open starts next week, so I got that going for me.
Ooh, some tennis. Let's go.
Some tennis, baby.
Got the little
I love betting some tennis.
Hey, tennis, you can fucking get me on that. And that's Australian Open, which means those games start at 1 a.m. over here. So
Sinner versus Alcaraz, lock it in.
We're gonna get Jose back on Little League World Series.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude! I got banned from my sport. I got banned from different sports books for that shit, dude. Because I was max betting fucking, these 12-year-old kids, and I was making crazy money. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for football tonight. We'll be back though next week to talk national championship. We'll add some NFL playoffs in there as well. Maybe a little Australian Open bets. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we're going live next time. Appreciate all the love and the support this year. Hope we've made y'all some money. I know we were positive over on Reddit. We had a pretty good year betting. We got a couple more games left to bet. So y'all ride it out with us. We got some fun episodes coming up. March Madness, NFL draft, and then we'll get into breakdowns over the late summer. So, but appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you all